Hey, Lynx here, welcome to Katawa Shoujo, and, well, as you can see from the screen, we've covered quite a bit of the stories already. Well, if you're new, if you've been from the beginning or from somewhere, you probably know that we already are playing for some while. Anyway, today we are getting into starting the neutral route for Hanako. And to do that, we are not playing from the very beginning, of course, but we are loading from here, where we have to do a different choice. And we have to trust our own judgment on the situation with Hanako and her locking herself up in her room after Lily is away and so on. Even though it's not a good decision. I listen carefully to what Lily has to say, but I can't bring myself to agree with her. I want to be with Hanako more. I want to be a better friend for her. To support her when she needs support. And to be there when she most needs people. I think that now is one of those times. The memory of the store owner we met in the town together still puts me off. Anyone who takes even the slightest glance at Hanako ends up staring, and to follow them for it would be completely hypocritical given my own reaction. I don't like my own scaring either, but at least I can cover it up with something as simple as a shirt. I can imagine a life where every day would be spent trying to hide myself as much as possible. And on top of that, Hanako doesn't even have people around her that would support her no matter what she looks like. I live away from my parents, but I still can contact and visit them when I wish. I mull over the best course of action in my head and find myself trying to verbally agree with Lee as softly and as ambivalently as I can. We make some small talk afterwards, but the both of us don't really have much stomach for it in the light of recent events. We say our goodbyes before I hang up. There is at least one thing I can do for Hanako. One. If I make this small gesture for her, I can only hope that she allows me to come that little bit closer. After talking to Lee at the end of the school day, I sat at my desk and looked out the window, idly watching students leaving the school building. Usually they left in groups, but even when they left alone, they'd say goodbye to their friends first. It's completely normal, something that I would have missed completely had it been any other day because it's so mundane. But it's also something Hanako has never had in time that I've known her. As I stand outside of Hanako's door for the second time in as many days, that fact doesn't leave my mind. I hold two plates in my hands. I don't know why I had to point this out. On each is not exactly the most hearty of meals, but I want to be sure that Hanako is at least feeding herself. It may also be a way to gain a little leverage in getting her to let me in. Lee and I have tried our best to be there for her. Ever since she broke down in class, I've dearly wanted to protect Hanako. Such a thing is happening to her again, or even something worse, is something I don't want to think about. The door gives a solid series of toots as I knock it while carefully propping up one plate on my other arm. I doubt that Hanako will open it for me, so all I can really hope to accomplish is to attract her attention. Evening, Hanako. It's just me. I pause for a moment to see if she will respond, but the fact that she doesn't isn't very surprising. I have some food for the both of us. Could I come in? For what feels like a very long time, some muffled voices from the floor below are the only sound to be heard. Then I can hear the sound of bare feet on the floor coming up to the door, and I have to stifle a sigh of relief as I hear the door's lock being worked. When Hanako opens the door, I look at her intently. She looks up momentarily to the plate in my left hand. It's a modest curry dish I quickly made from a packet. Her eyes move to the plate in my right hand, which holds the same thing, before looking down again. As she shuffles back into her room, I realize that I haven't said a word to her. I glumly follow her in, slightly embarrassed by having been so wrapped up in observing her. Okay. More than ever, the grey and stark atmosphere of Hanako's room feels like a reflection of her personality. The voices from the outside become completely inaudible, and the silence inside oppressive once I close the door. Walking to the far end of the room, I place the 2 plates on her desk. I'm thankful that she let me in, but as the errand chaser, I can't help having second thoughts about coming to see her. I don't believe Lily was right for. Looking at Hanako like this, I can only think that giving her space is the last thing we should be doing. I don't want to mention it, but she may do something very foolish. It's just an instant meal, but it should be filling. I take plate in my hand, offering to her. She orders takes it and sits on the side of the bed. I take seat in her chair, and the familiar sound of eating rings in the room as we dig in with the forks that were stuck into the rice. The curry itself tastes okay. I would expect much from a packet whose brand I didn't recognize, so it not being horrible is at least something. I mean, it's an instant meal. You can't expect something extremely delicious from it, let's face it. As long as it's edible, it's good, I guess. Eating takes the edge of the fact that she isn't talking. Neither of us really likes to talk while we're eating. Yeah, same. And this reminds me of the lunchtimes we so often spent together. Again, actually, I don't mind talking, but I mind someone speaking while still chewing. It's kind of nice eating together like this. Hanako looks at me quizzically. It's at least a better expression than what she's been wearing this far. We became friends mainly over sharing lunch breaks, so it's nice to go back to those times a bit. She hesitates for a couple of seconds, and I find myself grimacing. Did I say something wrong? Eventually she smiles and nods. I would normally be very encouraged by this, but her smile looks strange. I can't quite put my finger on why. Everything's the same as before, isn't it? Yeah, of course this. You've still got Lee and me to help you and protect you, and once she gets back, everything will be just like she never left. Hanako nods again, her expression remaining exactly the same as before. Yeah, that's the problem, right? She wants it to change a little bit. She feels like a different Hanako from the one I'd first seen when I entered the room, and it's vaguely off-putting. You know what would be nice for the neutral ending? If anything, if she decided to go travel or something, like in Lily's route. Anyway, both of us go back to finishing off our dinners after the short exchange. Despite Hanako looking happier than before, my eyes keep flicking to her as if to reassure myself of this fact. Before long, the last of Hanako's curry is cleared. I finish the last of mine as she puts the empty plate on the desk, and place my own empty plate and used fork on top of hers. I briefly wonder what I should say, desperately wanting to avoid another awkward silence of the prospect of leaving her room after so short a time. But Hanako is the one to speak first. I was wondering, since you're here. She quickly goes to one of her drawers, and after a minute of fussing around, pulls out her chessboard. Would you like to play? This time I can stifle the sigh of relief that escapes my lips. I hastily agree, and Hanako promptly busies herself setting up while I get off the chair and take a seat on her bed. Once again, Hanako is willing to let me into her world, with so simple a gesture as a game shared between us. I guess I was just winding myself up for no reason. After the board is laid down on the bed between us, we finish placing our respective pieces on it. Throughout our friendship, we've never exchanged that many words. When we're like this fall, I see that perhaps we never really needed to. Just a simple book, or board, or meal between us is enough to bridge that distance. I make the first move, just as I've always done. This is the way our friendship was, and this is the way it will probably always be. Something definitely feels different about her. And I can't quite grasp what it is. I look at Hanako intently, but I can't work out anything from her expression. As physically close as we may be, it feels like we're further apart than ever. It's funny how this is mentioned a lot of times in this route. Hanako is a fragile person, and I would never want to hurt her. That was also the way things always were, and the way things between us will probably always be. Who knows? Wait, is this it? Really? I did not expect that. Okay. Well, that probably will be the shortest Katawa Shoujo video I've released. At least for the moment. We don't know about the others. Still. I mean, still 2 more girls, and Hanako still has 1 more ending. But that one, I'm pretty certain, kind of demands me to make different choices. Library, your choice. Introduce, can't talk. Your choice. Okay. Sorry, go to library, forget it. Oh no, we actually have to go. Oh no. If you see my reaction right now, you probably know what it forces us to do. Okay, that other route. Anyway, that was short and quiet, not giving us anything. I literally feel like the neutral endings are here is nothing. Just a few lines of difference. I mean, over here the only this is crazy. Like, I think like how many episodes less it will be because of that. I mean, Katawa Shoujo folder, let's see. The trip to the city was happening, I think, before this, so like 3 full episodes in the good end is like 1 extremely short in the neutral end right now. But, well, in the supposed bad ending, which I really don't want to go to. Hanako only deserves good ending. But we have to go there. Well, we'll have a lot to play through over there, apparently. We'll see where this is going. Anyway, for now, hope you enjoyed this short video. Hope to see you tomorrow. And yeah, we'll get to experience the bad ending for the first time in this game. We'll see where this goes. Bye bye.